let's start this. The var keyword and hoisting. What is the var keyword and why is it no longer suggested to use it? The var keyword in JavaScript is one of the original ways to declare variables. It has been part of the language since its inception, and for many years it remained the primary method for creating variables. However, JavaScript evolved and developers gained more experience with the language. Certain drawbacks of using var became apparent, leading to the introduction of let and const in 2015. When you declare a variable with var, it becomes function scoped or globally scoped. This means that if you declare a variable inside the function using var, it's only accessible within that function. However, if you declare it outside any function, it becomes a global variable accessible throughout your entire script. This behavior can sometimes lead to unexpected results and make your code harder to understand. A problem with var is that it allows you to redeclare the same variable multiple times without throwing an error. This can lead to accidental overrides and make debugging more difficult. Okay, the most significant issue with var is its lack of block scoping. Variables declared with var inside a block like an if statement or a for loop are still accessible outside that block. Okay, the behavior can lead to unintended variable leaks and make your code more prone to bugs. Due to these issues, modern JavaScript development has largely moved away from var in favor of let and const. These keywords provide block scoping, which aligns more closely with how scoping works in many other programming languages. They also don't allow redeclaration within the same scope, helping to prevent accidental overrides. While var is still part of JavaScript and works in all browsers, it's generally recommended to use let and const. In modern JavaScript development, they provide clear scoping rules, help prevent common pitfalls, and make your code's behavior more predictable. What is the scope of a variable declared with var outside of any function? Of a variable declared with var any function. Global scope. What will be the output of the following code? Var x equal 10. If true, var x equal 20. Console log x, console log x. I think 2020. Okay. Which of the following is not a reason to avoid using var in modern JavaScript? Which of the following is not a reason to avoid using? var allows redeclaration of variables in the same scope. It's not supported in modern browsers. Variables are function scoped, not block scoped. Variables are hoisted. I don't know what this means. var is not supported. It is not a reason to. No, let's say this. Okay. See, this is not important. This one, the var one, because we're not gonna use it. Anyways. Yes, and happy code and thank you very much. I love you. Hoisting is a behavior in JavaScript that often confuses beginners. but understanding it can help you avoid subtle bugs in your code. In simple terms, hoisting is JavaScript's default behavior of moving declarations to the top of their respective scopes during the compilation phase before the code is executed. Okay. To understand hoisting, it's important to know that JavaScript runs in two phases. The compilation phase, out of compile, of course, the compilation phase, and the execution phase. During the compilation phase, the JavaScript engine goes through your code and sets up memory space for variables and functions. This is where hoisting comes into play. Let's start with variables hoisting. When you declare a variable using the var keyword, JavaScript hoists the declaration to the top of its scope. However, it's crucial to note that only the declaration is hoisted, not the initialization. This means you can use a variable in your code before you have declared it, but its value will be undefined until you actually assign a value to it. Console log x var x equal 5 console log. Okay. In this code, even though we use x before declaring it, we don't get an error. Instead, we get undefined. This is because JavaScript hoists the declaration var x to the top of its scope, but not the initialization. It's as if the code were rewritten like this. Yep, function hoisting works a bit differently. When you declare a function using the function declaration syntax, both the function name and the function body are hoisted. This means you can call a function before you've declared it in your code. Example of function hoisting: say hello, function say hello, console log hello, hello world. In this case, we can call say hello before its declaration because the entire function is hoisted to the top of its scope. It's important to note that hoisting works differently with let and const declarations introduced in ES6. Console log y throws a reference error, let y equal x. These declarations are hoisted, but they are not initialized, and you cannot access them before the actual declaration in your code. This is often referred to as a temporal dead zone. Understanding hoisting can help you write cleaner, more predictable code. However, relying on hoisting makes your code harder to read and maintain. As a best practice, it is recommended to declare your variables at the top of their scope and your functions before you use them, regardless of hoisting. This makes your code's behavior more explicit and easier for others, including your future self, to understand. What happens when a variable declared with a var is hoisted? Uh, Declarations. The variable is not hoisted. Variable is deleted from the code. This is not it. Variable is not hoisted at all. Only the declaration is moved to the top. Only the declaration, because that's the initialization. Am I right? Or the declaration. Okay. How does the function hoisting differ from variable hoisting? Functions are not only the function name, both the function. Oh, goddamn! Function hoisting only works with an arm. What is the result of trying to access a variable declared with let? to access a variable declared with let before its declaration in the code. It returns and it throws a reference error. Okay, now we're done with the theory. Let's build a title case. In this lab, you will create a function that converts a string to title case. Title case means that the first letter of each word is capitalized and the rest of the word is in lower case. Web development is awesome. Oh, never slide. The case means that the first letter of each word is capitalized and the rest of the word is in lower case. An example of a title cased string. Fulfill the user stories below and get all the tests to pass to complete the lab. You should have a title case function that takes a string. So this function is actually a bit that takes a string. A little bit of a work. The little case function, the title case function should return a string with the first letter of each word capitalized and the rest of the word in lower case. In lower case. A title case I like to code should return I like to code. Title case JavaScript is fun should return JavaScript is fun. I don't know any built in built-in, what do we call it? Functions, I don't know, built-in that will do this. So we have to work around it. We have to think of, I don't know, spaces, etc. Let's see the tests. Should return title case should take single case, title case, title case. Here is my handle. Here is my spout. Turn the string. Here is my handle. Here is my spout. So there is no spaces before and at the end of it, so we don't need to trim it. We only need this, and we need the spaces in the middle to make sure okay, but look at this. This is capital ORT. Is my handle here, my spout, here is my handle, spout. So actually we should make it as small letters at first. So there should be a clever ways, but first let small small letters equal string dot to lower case. That's the start of it. So we're making it a lowercase. We could also what are we doing? Split. So let's try this. Split array equal small letters dot split adds space, and then we go for word of array word dot to capital. Wait, we need another. Okay, for let I equal 0, I is less than word dot length, I actually 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 is less than 1, I plus plus. لاجين عندي كاميرا. اي والله وورد I you know what, We don't need this. We don't need this. We don't need this at all. For word of array, word 0. Actually, let capital capital equal, then we'll put an array, or should we just say, let's try this. Okay, let first letter cap equal, how to reframe this. We need to push it eventually. Word 0 dot 2 capi to uppercase case. Word C oh wait, I'm gonna pull this off. Let's, you know what? Oh yeah, let's console.log first letter cap first letter here. Let's check this out. Console.log. Yeah, it's only word C. Console.log word. What if we put this? What if we take this out of? And still I have. This is not gonna work. What do we need now? Is we need to word C, which is capital. We need to delete and then minus or equal, minus or equal. Wait. Word capital C minus or equal word with 0. Could we? It's gonna push it at the end. Am I correct? So we need the array. We need the array still to unshift it. Right. Let's check this out. Word C plus first console dot log word c. What seems to be the problem? Let's check this. Let's try something else. What do you mean? Yeah. Okay. Let's put it there. Let's see. Dot split. Could we pull it? Yeah, I think this is actually working. It worked, huh? This worked. Word C. Dot join. What's happening? Why isn't it joining? Is that a capital? It's a capital. I don't get it. Word C equal. So it worked. Pot. And then we're gonna change this to an array. And then we're gonna say capital dot push word C capital. Do you need an if statement here? We're gonna see. I think we need an if statement. But let's see. Capital capital equal capital dot join where there is a space also, so that there are spaces still. So and then console dot log capital. Did this work? I am a little teapot. It worked, huh? A little teapot. So what we need now is return capital, and then we need to delete this. Do I have a console log somewhere? Console log. Okay. With this, pass the test. Could there be a simpler way? There could be. but this should pass the test. It passed. Alhamdulillah. Okay. So what I got in mind. Okay, so this is about it for today. Thank you guys for sticking around and joining me in this sessions. See you